authority vested in me as the acting president of the Board of Trustees of the University of Aruba, I hereby install you as the 7th Rector of the University of Aruba on this day, September 12, 2025. May you lead us to greatness. Salve, Rector Acquisiti. Inrunque, salve.
Boa noite, turma presente. With protocol already being established, I'm standing here today as Rector of the University of Aruba. It is both an honor and a profound responsibility to lead this institution. I'm deeply grateful for the trust and confidence that so many of you have placed in me. Our Board of Trustees, the government of Aruba, especially Minister Gerlin Cruz, my colleagues and friends who encouraged me to step forward, and my family, my children, my partner, my parents, my sister, and my in-laws, whose constant support has carried me through this transition. To my friends and family who have stood by me in both the good and quiet times, thank you. Your encouragement and belief in me have made this journey possible. My journey as a rector began in July with warm welcomes and words of encouragement from both the university community and the wider community. That support has been a source of strength and inspiration, reminding me that this role is not carried by myself alone, but by all of us. Together with my colleague, Mieke de Droog, I had the honor of guiding the university for 19 months through transition, a time in which we started to rebuild, strengthen, and prepare for the future. Dear community of Aruba, University of Aruba, I invite you to partake in my vision of how the University of Aruba is connected to Aruba. Today, as I stand here, ready to carry this mission forward, I recognize this moment. This moment is ours. Passionate students, dedicated colleagues, and the support of the wider community, all of whom continue to contribute to shaping the heart and soul of this university. I want to share with you who I am, a little of my journey, and why my decision was made to continue this path to lead this institution. So who am I? I'm standing here before you tonight as a daughter, a sister, a life partner. I'm a mother of 4 children. I'm a professional. I'm an educator, a lifelong learner, and above all, I'm a proud Juritera. My journey has always been deeply tied to this island. Aruba is where I belong, where my roots are, and now where my calling lies. Let me take you back to when I was a 17-year-old girl. I was finalizing my VWO at Colegio Arubano, full of ambition and excitement for the future. I dreamed of going to the Netherlands, studying at a renowned university, pursuing my degrees in economics, learning a new culture, travel as much as possible, and eventually building a career. This was all realized. We all have dreams. My dream at 17 was to go out into the world and create a life of achievement. But today, I realize that dreams change with time. And my dream has taken another shape. The dream is no longer about me, but it's about us. I can recognize our students having the same challenges, but building resilience because they know where they want to go. Most of us are first or second generation university graduates, and this is already an achievement and a great contribution to this island. Today, I see that we can contribute to building systems of learning, ecosystems of belonging, so that the young people of Aruba can dream their own dreams, right here on this island, without limitations. And contribute to sharing our future as a small island and a community towards prosperity and progress. This brings me to this quote of Mother Teresa. Not all of us can do great things alone, but together, even small actions can become great. So as we move forward, our task is not only to strengthen our university, but also to ensure it reflects the values of fairness, equity, and inclusion. Around the world, universities are called to address inequities and foster social mobility. In Aruba, our university carries these responsibilities by opening doors, breaking down barriers, and preparing our students not only for careers, but for citizenship, for building a society where justice and opportunity is shared with all. So in these years ahead, I commit to ensure that equity and inclusion are not distant ideals, but living principles woven in our teaching, our research, and our policies. In doing so, the University of Aruba will stand as a leader of social justice in the Caribbean region. As educators, we are more than lecturers. We are guides and role models who help students discover their full potential. We too continue to learn every day and should foster true community of learnings. Role modeling does not end at the classroom doors. It extends into our society. For an educator, it is essential to practice self-reflection and inspire others to do the same thing. By sharing knowledge, experience, and encouragement, we shape not only future professionals, but also responsible citizens who will contribute to the growth of Aruba. Our purpose is to cultivate shared knowledge with a mindset of accountability, a commitment to continuous learning, and the belief that education is a collective endeavor. I also want to share my view of mentorship. It is not only an academic responsibility, but as a calling to nurture a culture of guidance, care, and shared growth across and beyond our university community. I know the value of mentorship personally, having the privilege of encountering mentors along my own path. Mentors, with some of them they don't even know it, but with whom I still share connections and from whom I continue to feel inspired and supported when it matters most. So from mentorship, let us turn our gaze to the outwards, to the challenges of our island, and the power of education to build the adaptability we need to navigate it. On an island, on Aruba, nothing is far away with traffic. We live closer to one another, closer to our history, and close to our culture. Education is not a paper. It is personal, it is relational, and it is necessary. As our community today faces these unique and pressing challenges, we are vulnerable to climate change, environmental shifts that directly affects our island. We are tied to a global economy that we cannot control, while our heavy dependency on tourism makes us both resilient and fragile. We continue to navigate colonial legacies and multilingual realities that still shapes our community and our identity, while also confronting this accelerated pace of technology, being it AI, automation, digitalization, that are rewriting the rules of work and life every day. At the same time, our population is aging, raising urgent questions about healthcare, dignity, and the quality of life. And we are faced with social and family challenges that affect our children, the very future of Aruba. These challenges remind us that the University of Aruba should be the catalyst for change and impact. Our task is to prepare leaders, generate knowledge, and strengthen our society so that Aruba is not only able to respond to these forces, but also shape its own future with confidence. In such a context, our reality, education, and research are not just individual choices. Our role as higher education institution equips us to meet some of these challenges by giving a voice to our people and generating solutions that are rooted in our culture and our environment. For Aruba, our university should be the engine for vitality, sustainability, innovation, and our own identity. Paolo Freire reminds us that education is the practice of freedom. Here in Aruba, education must also be seen as a practice of resilience, our way of shaping global forces while staying true to ourselves and who we are. Therefore, the university can be seen as both liberation and preservation, liberating us from imposed limitations and perceiving our own identity while engaging with the world. We create our story. Our role is to live in the present and prepare for the future, ensuring that no one is left behind, that our small island's voice is heard, and even in the global conversations. This is why we need to continue to invest in our university, in our educators, in our students, in research, because of the future. UA must be recognized and entrusted as the Research Institute of Aruba, the place where local knowledge is built, where data matters, where capacity is strengthened, and where society finds its heartbeat. We are contributing to nation building. Since its founding 37 years ago, just after Aruba achieved its status aparte, the university has carried a clear purpose: to serve our people. As we now stand on this threshold of 40 years of status aparte, these anniversaries remind us that our university and our country has grown side by side, remaining small in size but large in purpose, in shaping knowledge, fostering mindset growth, and carrying forward the aspirations of our island. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear, education should not stop here. A university that is isolated cannot thrive. A university that listens, engages with its community, and learns will thrive and transform society. Community engagement at the University of Aruba means long-term commitments. We are not talking about volunteering in passing. It should be about stewardship, taking responsibility for the well-being of our island, our people, and our culture. Belonging is the soil in which stewardship grows. When people feel they belong, we take care of what is ours. We collaborate. We give back. Belonging is not optional. It is essential for the soul. It is the foundation of learning, of community, and of hope. For tonight, I want to speak of systems, be it education systems, health systems, political systems. We live in a world of complexity. On small islands, challenges are interconnected. To thrive, we must think not just in systems. And for Aruba, this means understanding how tourism links with our environment, how education links with the economy, and how culture links with our identity and our resilience. We need to understand this. But systems are structured, they can be rigid, and they can be closed and disconnected. Yet, systems thinking reminds us that challenges do not stand alone. We must go further. Systems must be efficient. To thrive as a small island, we must move beyond systems and think like an ecosystem. An ecosystem is alive. It values diversity, nurtures interdependence, and it adapts. Our ideal ecosystem thinking would mean that we could be weaving together education, well-being, culture, heritage, economy, environment, and community, valuing not only efficiency, but dignity, integrity, identity, and stewardship. This is the shift we must collectively embrace, from isolated systems to living ecosystems, guided by culture and rooted in belonging. At the University of Aruba, when we think like an ecosystem, we can think where culture and heritage are not side by side, but central. Not cooperating, but collaborating and co-creating, where the well-being of people and the community is at heart, where we foster an open and safe and professional environment, where our university, government, businesses, and the civil society are interconnected to shape the future of Aruba. This is how we create resilience. So my vision rests on 4 pillars: academic excellence and research culture. We will continue to strengthen and teach in teaching and research that matters to Aruba and the region. Equity, inclusion, and belonging. Our university must reflect the diversity of our own community. Everyone must feel seen, valued, and empowered. Sustainability and relevance. We must prepare our students for a rapidly changing world. Climate change, AI, shifting global economics. Global leadership rooted in local culture. We may be small, but not insignificant. Our students can and should thrive globally while staying deeply rooted in the culture and heritage of our island, of Aruba. So take this moment and imagine with me. A university where Papiamento, Dutch, and English stand side by side. A university where sustainability is the only way of life. A university where every student who steps in here will live with a sense of stewardship and responsibility to this island. A university where graduates are proud and graduations is not goodbye, but the beginning of a lifelong contribution as alumni, as a professional, and as a member of this community. A university that may be small in size, but mighty in impact. So my purpose is to foster a community of change agents so that we can engage with our islands to create lasting positive impact. My tenure begins by creating a community of engagement, where staff, students, and everyone who enters this university feels that they belong and they do not want to leave. A true community of learning, where diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging are not just words, but they are lived every day through values, supported by action and policy. And I will seek to build lasting partnership with our local community so that together we can collaborate and co-create and make an impact that will carry Aruba forward. So finally tonight, my children are here. They may not understand every detail of this moment, but they understand enough why I am here. I do this for them, for your children, for the generations who will inherit this island after us, because I believe that we can make a difference with impact. In closing, I want to remind us all that this vision, my vision, cannot be achieved by one person. So it's not my vision. It should be our vision. This vision cannot be achieved by a rector alone, by a council alone, by faculty alone. It will require all of us, faculties, staff, students, alumni, government, businesses, NGOs, civil societies. We all working together hand in hand, building an ecosystem of education and impact. And one day, when we look back together, we will look back together with pride. What will matter most is that each of you individually can stand tall and be proud of yourself and the difference that you have made for Aruba. So let us walk this journey together for our island and our next generation. Thank you. Asha dankie.